Hey everybody, it's Roy Cruz and Son of Beast here. It's another NHL Game of the Night of the 26th on EA Sports. The next matchup is we have a couple more games coming in action as we have our next matchup. The Utah Mammoths are facing against the New York Rangers at MSG in New York City. This is part of the Big Apple and their 100th celebration for New York Rangers. But the time has always been come as the finishing comes to one game only for the game of the night here for the Utah Mammoths against the New York Rangers. So therefore, as the starting goaltender brings on, we have this Videlka from the Utah Mammoths, and for the New York Rangers, we have it across is Igor Shesterkin. Perhaps no Jonathan Quick that time, as the finishing will come in for the finishing of the season. This will be his night to retire. As the starting group builds on, let's have a look at the visiting team of the Utah Mammoths. Clayton Keller is the wheels along with the tape-to-tape zones. With Mikhail Sergachev, he has a second win in the Trelensas with the Warrior. Then, Nick Schmaltz only has the tape-to-tape zones with the precise and powerful passes that have some complete plays. Dylan Gomfer with the quick release and pressure. Then Logan Cooley with only the tape-to-tape zones. Mackenzie Weegar, the transfer from the Calgary Flames, as the second wing puts a quick pick and the Warrior. Then across is JJ Paterka from Buffalo Sabres with the quick release and the pressure. Then across is Sean Dursey. Tape-to-tape zones and powerful passes. Then across is Lawson Cross from the Big Quick and a spark plug. Then it's Barrett Hayton, the quick release and pressure tee. And finally, across from Jack McBain to pressure, we have it here is Brandon Donato. Its spark plug makes it impossible. And now for the New York Rangers on the other side of it, as we have a couple plays in this action, calling for Igor Shesterkin. Post-to-post with the miraculous angle crease saves. With Adam Fox, he has a extended pass with the tape-to-tape zones. Vincent Trocheck with the quick draw and no contest zone. Mika Zibanejad with the quick release and the tape-to-tape zones. Along with JT Miller, he has a spark plug and a no contest zone. Alexis Lafreniere, the tape-to-tape and the ankle breaker. Then it's Will Cooley from the quick release and unstoppable force. And last but not least, Matt Rempe. The Trulensis is a great destructive shoulder checks. Now saying goodbye with the next commentary crew, I now send it over to New York. It's Craig along with the others with Fiery, and Apple is the center ice. We'll see you all later, folks, for the intermission and the post-game show after the game. Now let's get this thing show on a rolling for the East meets West. Mammoths, Rangers, next on EA Sports. Tonight's here in hockey in Madison Square Garden. It's the Rangers town, and they face against Utah. Hi folks, I'm here with Craig, and I'm here with my broadcast partner along with Fiery and Apple as the center ice for tonight's game. A fun one here at the Garden as we're ready for the puck drop. Tonight's is big night here as we are underway in Madison Square Garden. This is NHL Game of the Night 26 on EA Sports. Starting goaltenders right in the range, we have it across is Videlka for the Mammoths, and for the New York Rangers, we have it is Igor Shesterkin. Clayton Keller start going off as Adam Fox will take a release, and now here's Perrault defensive to Lafreniere. Lafreniere with the swing and piston down, and goes down right over to Clayton Keller. Every way for Utah Mammoths, he will fire that one around the net, finding over to Schmaltz. Schmaltz finds it over to Sergachev. Looks over to Weegar. Weegar looks over to Keller. Keller finding Schmaltz outside of the zone. Pass broken up here, and this will go out of the zone and back it over to Schmaltz. Utah going back in the other way here in New York territory. And here's Keller. Right toward the wing, trying to have a little bit of a slot move. Crossing the shot. Glove save by Shesterkin. Sends over to Gavrikov, and now here's Zibanejad. You'll have it again to Lafreniere. A rebounding fits in by Mackenzie Weegar as Utah Mammoths will play an offensive zone. And here's Weegar. Second deep pass over to Dylan Gomfer. Gomfer, chance over to Keller. Keller, give it away here by JT Miller. And a rebound by Logan Cooley. Cooley sent a pass to Mackenzie Weegar, finding Cooley. He shoots one. Save made by Shesterkin. Shesterkin will cover things in with only 17-19 remaining in the first period.
What a big start that is. Doesn't really mean that it's really all the change up when you need to be doing it for. Igor Shesterkin, it's powerful to be here last. You have to be clear enough that you really have a great target on range. Here's Schmidt outside here for the Utah Mammoth, finding over to Logan Cooley. And that pass went broken up. Going for finding it again to Peturka. Peturka finding it over. The pass finding to Marino. He looks at Schmidt. Schmidt shoots. Saved by Shesterkin. Rebound by Gonfer. Gonfer finding Marino. We're going to shoot line for the deflection. That doesn't get through it. And right by it is New York Rangers. As now Will Cooley will have it. Rangers take it over the other way. Shot chance, swings and misses. Here's Peturka. Finding over to Marino. And Utah back in offense zone, and it's Dylan Gonfer. A Gonfer pass to Peturka on a shot. Tipped it off the stick and off the glass, and rebounded by Logan Cooley. That was a little bit of tipping in the range. Most of it is effortless. I think this would happen with only the deflection that may have been a caught into the loose stick. But more likely though, that's one occasion to have that one knocking out. Here's Schneider as right now as the Rangers are going back on the attack. And Gavrikov swinging to Kadri. Kadri on the shot. That one is chopped off and it goes off the wall and rebounded by Dylan Gonfer. Gonfer finding over to Hayton. Hayton right on attack. McBain slides that one back, now finding over to Hayton. Hayton looks over to Uyghur. Uyghur to Carcone on the shot. It is blocked. And rebound by Mika Zibanejad. Here comes JT Miller. Miller got that one caught that stick. Stomped up by Hayton. And it's rebounded by Schmidt. Given a rebound by Carcone. And now here's McBain the other way. Gets a little bit of a knockdown here. And now it's regrouped. And now Adam Fox will deliver it. Finding over to Kadri. Hayton back again to Mackenzie Uyghur. Another new line group change here for the Utah Mammoths. As Alexander Kerfoot will swing the pass now, finding over to Schmidt to Sergachev. And outside zone to Yamamoto. Finding Uyghur. A shot! Saved by Shesterkin. 13:21 remaining in the first period. And they'll be ready to have another puck drop ready. What we say about now is for Igor Shesterkin, he's really got that clear in this one. Passing back in the offensive zone really made that one switching. Changing is effortless, but it's just a change off when you need to be doing it for to have that huge save. Back for Igor Shesterkin. Still nearing a close down for the midway mark of the period. No score in the first period that far. And between Stamlin and Zibanejad trying to work over the higher skill. And now Sergachev will have it after the winning 50-50 puck drop for Utah. Yamamoto outside of it now finds Sergachev. He shoots one. A deflection goes off of the goaltender and rebounded by Kovalov. That really has to make it a huge save. You know, I won't believe that it's just a harder way that they're going to get through it.
Fires that one out there wide. Sergachev with a rebound. He's now flying over to Kerfoot. Kerfoot looks over to Mackenzie Uyghur and stops that one. And a rebound by New York Rangers. Here's Extra. Extra chance. Good takeaway by Mikhail Sergachev, and this will go back the other way to Mackenzie Uyghur.
A little pickup play happened to be over there, but I think that may have to be a trouble sensation that could definitely get out and whip around. That's one way that we are looking at it for.
In called down trying Yamamoto. Hersey, he shoots off the skater, rebounded by Schneider, and now there's Radius will have it over for the New York Rangers. New York back in the offense zone, now finding to Trocheck. Trocheck shot. Blocked it up, rebound by Dursey. Here's another one to Alexander Kerfoot. Chance on the back, small shot. What a save by Shesterkin. Kerfoot finding to Dursey, looks over to Cole. Cole shoots one, blocker saved up again by Shesterkin. Borgia with the rebound, as now the Rangers will have it pick it up. And eye of the zone. Kick a rebound by Cole, and now Dursey will have it off to Schmaltz. Alexander Kerfoot right into the corner. Shoots one, pass save, cross in front, save made as well as Shesterkin. Kerfoot with the rebound, now finding again to Cole. Shoots another one, blocker save by Shesterkin. Right to Dursey. Cole shoots, breaks the pipe. Off the goalpost and rebounded by Krause.
What a saving effort. It really is starting to get that one strong in there.
And save by Shesterkin. What a save as the goaltender comes in and a huge surprise to stop him on a midway mark.
Well, look at the reaction happening here. That only makes it a big changing. And what happens with Igor Shesterkin, he makes a great save. You can't just get it off to a run. I mean, that is really a great start of it. You have a lot of multiplications here and a little bit of a miscues here. Almost could be impossible. What a save on that for Shesterkin. He's really having an eye on energy. Now turning my attention over will be Apple, and joining us here for the start of a goaltender is Igor Shesterkin.
Thanks, folks. Igor Shesterkin is really one of the news allocated, and a lot of biggest on a miraculous save on the butterfly check. His control makes it a miraculous pre-save, and he just makes it all of it to change anything. The more being the better that he has it all, it's the power of this energy that really turns it all. The better offense is much a better secret to make this one a harder strength to change it off into. I'm looking forward to Igor Shesterkin and made a better one here for tonight. This is a lot of energy for certain reasons and might be the change up for that. We'll see how he can able to hang on to this. Back to you, Craig.
Thanks, Apple. Now finding it over to Schmaltz. Here's another one here on the outside of Keller. Robertson takes it over and back to Lafreniere. Lafreniere lost that one and rebounded off by the big Craig, and now here's another one to Jersey.
Signings forwards really is starting to make that improbable. This doesn't really mean to start it off, but literally anyone could definitely play it for him.
Here's Perrault in motion. That one is cut up by Jersey, and Jersey will clear that one out of here, and it's taken away by New York Rangers. The Bannerjet pass to Perrault, shot blocked by Jersey. Under 8 minutes to go in the first period. Finding Schmaltz, shoots one deep, saved by Shesterkin. And here's rebounded by Orio. Has a pass to Cooley. Cooley looks over again and Zibanejad. Because Zibanejad rushes in. Trans in play shot. Shot blocked by Ian Cole. With the rebound up finding to Cooley. And it's broken him up. Dylan Goffair with the rebound. Now the Utah will take a change. Finding Baturka. Looks over Wade. Uyghur shoots. Both side by Shesterkin. 6:43 to go in the first period. And he'll be able to have that one puck in control, ready for a face-off. Once again, going back to Apple, and we'll have a look as the playoff is for Mackenzie Weegar, transferred from the Calgary Flames.
Thanks, fellas. But Mackenzie Weegar is really like all of the changing, and he makes it all this perception after Nazem Kadri with the transfer from Colorado, and Mackenzie Weegar from the Calgary Flames, he now has to be sure enough to be playing with the Utah Mammoth. The only thing about Mackenzie Weegar is his warrior balances. That changes effort. It doesn't mean that he was really given some hugest timeouts, but the better opportunity you really have it all is a great way to have some tape-to-tapes on the warrior passes. This is more to meet the eye. We'll see what happens with Mackenzie Weegar. Has some warrior resistant to change it all. Craig, over to you.
Spinner move, Corcone. Shot, save up again by Shesterkin. Marino back out in front, now flying it over to Corcone, and back in the offense zone in the New York Rangers territory.
He's really like up to something. He has to watch out for trouble.
Schmidt moves it around again. Marino will have it again, and now the glove save again by Shesterkin, and rebound by Adam Fox. Here's the JT Miller the other way as Utah doesn't have a choice to get there. And here's Alexis Lafreniere. Lafreniere to pass over to Cooley. Cooley, change-off shot, glove save by Videlka. Videlka will hold it here with only 4:23 remaining in the first period. Just a lot of time left with under 5 minutes in the first period. No score is made between Utah and New York. New York wins the draw. Here's Galvikov finding Fox. Shots blocked. Rebound in. Save by Videlka. Back to Marino the other way for the Utah Mammoths. Yamamoto will have it.
The change-off is better than clear. What a save on this miraculous one. That only makes that driving just impossible.
Ball cleared out of here as Marino will have it. And now Utah will now take a switch here, finding Kerfoot. Looks over to Schmidt. And here's another change-off now finding Yamamoto. Big hit here. New York with another big hit attack. Now finding JT Miller. And he's on a rush. But behind the pass. Kerfoot takes it over. Trying to give over to Stenlin. And here's another one to Krause. Krause to Stenlin. Pass broken up by a defensive effort by the New York Rangers. Rebound by Sergachev. And here's Keller. Shoots one. Blocker saved again by Shesterkin. Connor Sherry now finding to Robertson. Rangers go back in control. Now finding to Cutray. And here's another one to Gavrikov. Back over to Cutray. Cutray shot. And another one saved up by Videlka. Here's Sergachev. Keeps the zone. Broken by Gavrikov. Lafreniere with the piece. Now finding to Schneider. Finding over to Cutray. Cordier. In corner, finding Lafreniere shot. Saved by Videlka. Videlka will hold the piece in with only 1:51 remaining in the first period. And they're still looking for a first goal for both teams.
What JT Miller really had to do for improving it, he knocked him over by Schmaltz that really missed the turn for the hit. That can definitely make that one with the causing pain resistance.
Final time left to be played before the first period comes to the end. No score between New York or Utah. With the wing. Shot, blocked and a blocker saved by Madelka. Cooley will find the Turka and will clear it out. Send around the net here for the Utah Mammoths. And it's rebounded by Snyder. We'll find it over to Taylor Radius. Radius. Shoots deep. Blocked by Cole. Gone for it. Right over to Gander Paterka. And no offside for Utah Mammoths. And now Cooley. Switch back to Paterka. Now finding Mackenzie Rieger with under a minute remaining in the first period. Here's Rieger. He shoots one. Glove save again by Shesterkin. 43 seconds to go in the first period. And they'll be ready to have another puck drop ready. 8 and 8 on the hits in the game. Utah Mammoths and the Rangers are still trying to get a clear run range, but they still haven't found an answer with a goal. Small swings of draw. Jersey in corner now finding the Kraus. Here's Cole. Cole with a little stick movement. Keller now finding to Jersey. Jersey shoots. Blocker save again by Shesterkin. And Keller with the rebound now trying to get a Cole. Here's Jersey. He shoots one. Blocked up in his own defensive effort. And rebound by Utah. Cole shoots. Goes with the block. Schmaltz can't get it over it. Kraus with the deep shot and stopped by Shesterkin. And therefore we end the first period. Great statistic scores, but there is no goal to give in the first period. On a big hit on a smack here, and we'll come back with you in just a moment after the first intermission is complete. You're listening to the New York Rangers hockey and watching of the NHL Game of the Night 26 on EA Sports. We'll be back with you shortly.
Hey everybody, welcome to the first intermission of the NHL on EA Sports. Son of Beast and Roy Cruz are showing us what the support happens with the first goal of the game. As we look at the action tracker here, there is not much pretty much to see things here for every game that comes up with the first goal of the game. One shot happens to Cooley and one shot happens to JT Miller. After the first intermission, first part of the period goes like this, with 20/7 total shots on goal for Utah Mammoths. And it was 8 with the hits. And then for the New York Rangers, they only got 88.9/88 percentage right on the passing effectiveness. Time on attack only happens with 451/107, and face-off wins happen with 504. Let's have your status about you, Son of Beast, about the New York Rangers with the great save by Igor Shesterkin. Shesterkin really had it all, improving it to everybody, but it doesn't mean that he was really knocking it out. That really makes him say is, the harder the look, the better it's more competition and making the matchup. There's a lot of things to say about for the New York Rangers. They're really trying to get that step in. Hopefully by that, they will try to defend it. No matter what, they will have to see what they can definitely do to do it right. Now let's over to you there, Roy, about the Utah Mammoths. Well, the Utah Mammoths only just got a little bit of a change-off signal, and pretty much sure not anybody could definitely play it afterward if they could try to make that one with the swing. One thing I noticed right now is Dylan Gunther. He's trying to get that first goal, but it looks like there's a little bit of a miscues afterwards for the New York Rangers, and it could be a turnover to have that first goal. I don't know how they're thinking, but it looks like that's going to be the start of the first goal to have that one even. That scores could definitely be a lot harder than challenging. We'll see what happens with the second period. And with that being said, the first intermission comes to the end as we go back to Madison Square Garden, as with the start off for the second period between Craig and Fiery. We'll see you back here for the second intermission after the second period. Now let's get back to Garden. Craig, all yours.
Welcome back, folks, as we're ready to get started for the second period here at Madison Square Garden. Both teams ready. Let's begin for the second period. And here we are, folks, as we are all rehydrated. We are back with you on ice here at Madison Square Garden. Let's have your recaps here of how the first period handles it between the goaltenders by Madelka and Shesterkin, Fiery.
Well, that one really made a tough start. I mean, it's pretty difficult to have that one understanding for the first part of it. The period was really that simple. Great start by Igor Shesterkin. They had that one kicked out of here, but that is a one heck of a save you got to give credit to. And I was also watching on Madelka, too. They really are starting out to make that one big. And hopefully by that, they won't start it often if they can definitely try to keep things rolling around between. It may not be possible enough, but hey, unless when you do things, if you're a Utah Mammoth player, you have the right job to do for it. And you just have to make sure you have it to try to beat up on to take a smulching and a sneak attack by Shesterkin. This might be the start off where we're looking at for Utah. And hopefully knows New York Rangers could definitely try to take over. Kenzie Weegar over the other way, sends it deep to pass to Keller. And there's Sergachev the other way now here for Utah Mammoth. He'll fire that one across the line now to Clayton Keller. Clayton Keller now finding over to Marino. Here's Smith. Smith should see. Off the face pass by Shesterkin. There's Adam Fox the other way with the transition numbers. On a shot. Close save by Radulka. Marino has it again to Keller. And here's another change-off for Utah Mammoths. Travis back in the offensive zone. He will have that one right around the net. Utah taking changing upward. And now as Marino will have some new line grouping change here for the Utah Mammoths to play some plays. Playing back on ice is Peterka. And here's Marino. Finding JJ Peterka. He goes down. Stuck on the play. Looking coolly out of here. Try to get some new numbers in for Peterka. Peterka in corner. Change out. Shot. Close save here by Shesterkin. Dylan Goldfer will have it outside, but now finding Nicole. And back on ice is Jersey. He'll have to look over to Logan Cooley. Cooley chance. Can't get through. Cole gets it back over again to Jersey. Listen to Peterka. Shoots one. Save and play. Trying to get some rebounds and deflections, but Fox gets away with it. That piece of it is going to definitely have a change afterwards. They really are starting to make that one change back and forth. Here's Sean Jersey that time. You will find it over to Logan Cooley. Logan Cooley. The changeover. Pass back to Cole. Cole looks to Jersey. Finding the Corcoran shot. It's blocked. And rebound by Cooley. Gets behind the net. And rebound by McBain. And he sends that one out of here. And Videlka will now make a change over to Jersey. Jersey will now have a little bit of time regrouping here as he passed 15 minutes in the second period, excuse me. And here's Parson the other way. He'll find into Gavrikov. And here's Carte. Carte in corner. Dumps it out into the backhand. Takes a white down. Carte shot. Woo! Save here by Videlka. Carte gets a rebound, now finding Radius. Watches carefully. Took a pump check here by Sean Jersey, and now this Utah Mammoths will try to clear it out. There's a little bit of a breakaway change. I mean, Utah Mammoths are really not starting out that strong. Looks like there could be trouble. Cooley gets away with it. 2-on-2 with the numbers. Vanacek, Cooley, save play. Kicks it out. That is Mackenzie Weegar the other way. Smalls finding to Krause. 12:40 remaining in the second period. You'll have that one fired around the net. Clayton Keller has that pass over to Mackenzie Weegar. Weegar finding Sergachev. One time to Krause. Gives back to Mackenzie Weegar. Near loop grip change here. Keller. Here's a set to Sergachev. Tries to get over it. And rebounded by Sergachev. Spin across. Moving around. And Schneider gets away with the piece of it. Finding over to Will Cooley. Rangers with the new change up. Here's the Vanacek shot. Deeps in front. And another save by the goaltender. Takes up with the kids to Vanacek. Borja. Across the Snyder shot. Another save play on again by the goaltender. Listen to Mackenzie Weegar. Out of control out of here. Will Borja finding Cooley. New line grouping change coming around here for Zibanejad. Zibanejad pass. A shot. Save by Videlka. 10:53 remaining in the second period. They'll have a lot of time left to have that one cleared out. When you're looking at this change-up, this could definitely make a lot of huge skill. Well, check what happened with Shesterkin. That's a great save, and you just have that one deflected, and that one turned it over. And watch what happened to New York Rangers. It was close. Despite his save, Videlka had that one almost close contact. That was a tricky call on that move. It's a Churchick wins the draw. Here's Schneider shot. Another save by Videlka. And here's Schmidt the other way. That one almost took the turn here for the worst. And we would have noticed that would have definitely would happen again if anything was going to get caught off right out of the way. Yamamoto the other way. Here's Kerfoot. Kerfoot swings, shoots, save by Shesterkin. And back to Schneider. Here's Perrault finding a Lafreniere. Change up for New York Rangers. And here's another change up for Schmidt. Gives it over to Marino. And a send a pass over again to Stanley. Stanley has it to Yamamoto. Yamamoto finding Schmidt. Schmidt. Change over around.
trying to get away with the defenders. And Kerfoot with the rebound. Alexander Kerfoot tries to give over to Jersey. Jersey, pass to Schmidt. Schmidt shoots. Glove saved by Mr. Sturkin. 9:09 to go in the second period. And still no score as he passes the midway mark into the second period. Still a lot of efficiencies going on afterward, but there needs to be one goal change off for New York Rangers or Utah Mammoths. As Mammoths wins the draw, here's Gomfer. Gomfer got a little stick contact here and now finding Peralt. Here's Peralt. A changeover for the New York Rangers. Comes away with it. Cole gets it out. And Peturka takes a little bit of a swing off to find Cole. Utah Mammoths finding Cooley. Cooley. In zone. He puts it. Rings the goalpost and back to Rogan Cooley the other way.
He has no room. I haven't even saying that. That definitely makes it hurt and surprise.
Cole. Shot. Left save by Susurkin. 7:50 to go in the second period. They'll slow things down to get ready for another puck drop.
I bet that Sean Jersey has a lot of aggressions here. He might be changing it up, and that really makes him wait. The hit off, it doesn't play still, but you really have to give a lot of hugest knockdown by Sean Jersey. That definitely makes him hit.
Under 8 minutes remaining in the second period. No score in the game between New York and Utah. JT Miller wins the face-off. Here's Fox. A send over to JT Miller. Miller outside look. Pressure takes on. Shot close. Save by Medelka. Paint shot. Never saved by Medelka. 2-time stop as Mackenzie Weegar with the rebound. Stings it out of here. No penalty on New York Rangers. And it'll be an icing on Utah Mammoths with 7:08 to go.
This was really close afterward. I mean, that saving is making a lot of drive for Medelka. He's really saving it. A lot of pressure. This big on team is not going to quit.
With the win. Gavrikov shot. Blocker save again by Medelka. And here's Hayton. Hayton saving his time. Now finding to Carcone. Finding over the middle of the big game. Backhand save by the circuit. And here's Gavrikov. As New York are back on the attack. Takes a shot on a save made by Medelka. And Sergachev finding over to Weegar. Mackenzie Weegar now finds it over to Hayton. Hayton looking after in front of it. No contact here on the play for the penalty. Gavrikov shot. And that one sauces it and now finding Marino. He'll bet it back to Sergachev. Send a pass to Hayton. Hayton. Send over the move. Doesn't get through it as Robertson with the rebound. 5:30 to go in the second period. Turnover by Keller. And that one did not get through it, and it's rebounded up by New York Rangers. Harsonen on his way down. Given away. Shot. Save by Medelka. And back to Schmidt. Lawson Krause. Gives it over. Now finding Keller. Keller shot. Big save again by Shesterkin. Harsonen with another change off. And here's another change off around the net. And here's Marino. Knocks him over. Medelka will save the puck in and will stop the play at 4:23 remaining. As the play resumes with under 4:30 remaining, as we have a couple of tight teams here. As finishing only happens for once. And now as Utah will win the faceoff, here's another one to Marino. Fires having around the net. Now finding Schmidt. And here's another again to Kerfoot. Here's Kerfoot. Toward the corner. Got a little poke check here. Rebound by Stanley. Now a change up for Cole. And now we will find it to Yamamoto. Here's a chance shot blocked. And it's rebounded by Cooley.
Well, Cooley's having a little bit of a technical. He's just really need to get that one a lot of energy to bring on from the crowd.
And here's Cole the other way for Utah Mammoths. Utah back in offensive zone. And there's another change off by Yamamoto. Yamamoto with a little fade off, trying to spin it out of here. Peturka shot, deflection off, and it goes off as Shesterkin. He'll cover this up with under 3 minutes remaining in the second period.
Just the stats you see about John Jason Peturka, he was really like getting it off to a force. Still better drive than that. I mean, I wouldn't say he was really going to be easy to get that answer in. That's a lot of go-ahead status up reports. I mean, they're really trying to get it off to it.
Outside Weegar. Weegar looking over again at Gomper. Gomper shot, club saved by Shesterkin. Just 2:20 to go in the second period. Another smackdown here in the Rangers territory. Schneider can't get away with that one here. Sergachev trying to give over to Gomper. Here comes the rush. Race on the attack. Pass broken up nearly right to the goaltender. And Coley now finding again to Weegar. Sergachev shot, fires it, saved by Shesterkin. Weegar. A chance for Turner now finding again to Coley. Coley looks to Sergachev. Trying to give over to Weegar. In corner, going for a shot. Had sick kick out of here by Shesterkin. Just only 1 minute remaining in the second period. Locked in there with a shot. Save by Vidalka. Weegar finding Sergachev. Gonfer with a change over to Peterka. Peterka. A cross. Weegar with the rebound. Gives to Sergachev. Not finding Peterka. Peterka can't get it through. Gonfer finds Weegar. Weegar looks over it again to Sergachev. He shoots for a deflection. Club save again by Shesterkin. Final seconds remaining in the second period. And the puck clears out of the zone. Weegar's group, his line's going to get changed and it will take a break. No score for 2 periods. Great save by Shesterkin and Vidalka. There's a lot of big action to find a goal and for one. We'll be back with you shortly here for our third period, as you'll see who will get this own goal and find out who has on net. Be back for the third period after this break.
Hey everybody, welcome to the second intermission of the NHL on EA Sports. It's close enough battle, but there is no competition to find a leadoff right in the range between Utah or New York Rangers. This was pretty hard to find a contest in the shot, but it didn't really stay appearing the other way. As the total statistics happen, this is 31 over 21 shots on goal for Utah, and it was 30 over 17 hits for New York Rangers, 10-37 over 2-20 for Utah Mammoths. On the passing effectiveness was 90 over 84, and both teams have 8 face-off wins. No penalty kills to give in, but that really may have to be a small out. So far, only no scores has made it in there by Sergachev, and as from Radish and Krause, they're trying to get some shots on goal to try to get it in. But let's have a look at the status here. I'll send it over to you, Roy, for Utah Mammoths as they're trying to clean it out. How do you see that map out there?
Well, the big matchup doesn't really make an appearances. They're not always that great, but when you go with the highest on controlling the offense zone, you have no choice but to change it oftenly was a really hard work and patience. There's no offense to do better than that, but when you do it the same thing, you just really need to keep on going forward. There's a lot of big effort here for the Gits, and they're trying to get that one swinged out. Let's go over to you, Son of Beast, for the New York Rangers. Well, I bet that the New York Rangers are really trying to get a lot of squeezing in, but the goaltenders are really stopping. There's a lot of big goaltenders on the reactions, quietly on the timing, but it seemed like the same thing happened to be with Anaheim Ducks and the Seattle Kraken. There's no other way to beating in the odd ones, but you just really had no choice when you try to get that one making a mess or taking a little swing after it. We'll try to see if they can definitely have some goals in to try to pursue their beings. So that far, we'll have to know if anything gets right into it. And it's going to be competition out there, Son of Beast. It's anybody's game. Indeed so. We end the second intermission here as we go back to Madison Square Garden as Craig and Fiery and Apple will be seeing who has that first goal to have that lead off. And with that, let's get back to Madison Square Garden. See you all later after the game.
Finishing at the Rangers town, and as you're ready to prepare for the third period as we welcome you back here at Madison Square Garden. Finishing of the third period is where we left off, and let's see who takes it in the third for as a goal for the 1-0. All right, Fiery, I'll have you over with you and see how would you prepare and see what happened with the second period of the weekend. Well, starting off was a little bit hard, strong enough anyway. Really might have to say that this was not really the easy play afterwards. I mean, they really are starting to get a lot of strength. You know, it was something like that. I mean, I was just assuming that they would just try to keep on playing it afterwards. I mean, there's no better race than ever. The competition is really the harder way to get through this. But now, they're going to start seeing how they can handle it.
Here's a start for now as Cross will have it. And a send over to Mackenzie Weegar the other way for Utah Mammoth. He will find Sergachev. He finds Keller. Keller swing and misses out of that one. And it gets back to Schmaltz. Schmaltz finds it over again. Now finding it again on Weegar. Here's Schmaltz. Fires a shot one and the shot's blocked. And it's Gavrikov the other way to Fox. Rangers on the attack. Gonfer takes it over now finding to Weegar. Weegar fires that one to Ronald Grunt. And to Gonfer. Gonfer swings it deep over to Schmaltz. Here comes Schmaltz. 2-on-1 opportunity shot. Saved made by Shesterkin. 17:22 to go in the third period. And he'll be able to have that puck re-control.
That is imagining it on this one. The 2-on-1 opportunity was like a big save. Should count that motion. There is one big attacker. You really got to stop this one with the post-to-post flank. And that really got a great slowdown. Oh, what a big save for Shesterkin.
Shesterkin at 11:37 over 2:14. It's still no score in the game. Out of win and a quick draw goes to Vincent Trocheck. And there's Adam Fox to send to Trocheck. Trocheck will fire that one around the net. Schmidt again over to Peterka. And back to Schmidt. Here's another chance to Gonfer. Gonfer to pass to Cooley. Cooley with the rebound, and now find Gonfer. Gonfer shot, saved by Shesterkin. 16:33 to go in the third period. Still no score in the game, nearing the 15-minute mark.
That was crazy enough that you see how the goals in this block effort. I'm going to say that he is a great star player of the game. Igor Shesterkin has a lot of post-to-post blanking eye range, and he is really like showing him off. Can't make a mess until you do it for real.
Igor Shesterkin still making another lot of comfortable saves here in this game. As now the next puck drop is ready. The back-to-back winning faceoff for Vincent Trocheck makes another win. Here's ready as she will send that one out. And Marino takes a dump. Back to Ayton. Knocks him down on center ice and back to Adam Fox. Ayton still has one. Marino now firing again over to Schmidt. Schmidt looks for it again to McBain. Here's McBain. Shoots one. Another save by Shesterkin. Taylor ready as she have away for the Rangers. New York on attack. In corner wall. That one is given off the net. And as Videlka will send it across here to save the puck in with only 15:14 remaining. Still have plenty of action here. But if you like what you see so far, feel free to follow NHL on the social media platforms and keep up to date here right between of every social media platforms and with some big highlights, big behind the scenes of this, and with some hugest moment of the game. Never miss out NHL on social medias. Jersey now finding again to Cole. Cole shoots. Save by Shesterkin. Will Borgia now finding over to Cartier.
Oh, what a nice save. Fans are loving this one here. That's for Igor Shesterkin.
Save by Videlka. Saves that one again with only 14-17 remaining in the third period. And now they're ready to have another group in force change. Now to win with a shot. Blocker saved by Videlka. And Cole has it across. Cole sends over it again. Now flying to Kerfoot. And Kerfoot will send a swing over to Yamamoto. Yamamoto with a spin over. Rebounded by Stenlin. Utah back the other way. Now finding Jersey. He has it over to Sergachev. Here's Jersey. Finds again to Sergachev. Keep the puck moving again. Stenlin. Gets a little swing back to Sergachev. Finding Kerfoot. Good movement here for Utah Mammoth. He'll fire it. And another save by Shesterkin. Behind the back. Stenlin. Poked it by Shesterkin. Schneider takes that one over. Now finding the Broken. Forcing the pass to Schneider. Schneider to pass over. That one is broken. No offside on Utah. And Cartier has it. Schneider. Rangers go back the other way now. Here's Jersey. Over the other way. Poked it. Trying to stop that one inbounding. And Schneider, outside, fires, glove save by Radelka. Under 12 minutes remaining in the third period. And they'll have another puck job ready to go. So 11 over 10 face-off wins for the New York Rangers as Utah Mammoths have a trail with the face-off by 1. And another way goes to Utah. Schmeltz wins the face-off, and now here's another one over in the other way. Krause behind the net, finding Schmeltz. Outside, here's Sergachev, fires it, save made by Shesterkin. Keller now has it again over to Sergachev. Uyghur finding Sergachev. Here's a chance, Schmeltz shoots. Another one is tipped off, and it's stopped by Shesterkin.
What a save is afterwards. I mean, that's Shesterkin really had to improve it. That really has that one to deny the effort for the New York Rangers. They're starting to battle along really well. Can't make that one loose out of it if you wanted to stay still.
Another win here for the New York Rangers, and now here's another one to Gavrikov. Keller taken away, and stopped by Fox. Here's Lafreniere. Lafreniere taken away. Keller now finds it over to Schmaltz. Here's another pass, broken up by Fox. Zibanejad will have that one cleared over the other way. Zibanejad shot, save play by Radelka. Now finds Keller. Keller, great move, in front, save, two-timer, glove snatch by Shesterkin. What a play effort. As Shesterkin holding on with the post-to-post play.
He did not really seem like he was going to stop afterward. What a play effort. That Shesterkin really made a huge of a save. And with Keller, he was going to try to get that pass over to Krause, but that did not go in for anything. He really saved it all, unless he did something that's more out of the sign. He really sure enough that he just made that one clear. Gotta see that perfection.
Schmaltz wins the draw. Back to Sergachev the other way, now finding the Schmaltz. Here's Uyghur. Uyghur shoots one on a blocker, save again by Shesterkin. And back again, Uyghur. Falling all around by Sergachev. He shoots one, goes high off the glass, and rebounded by Vilnius. Keller shoots one, another save by Shesterkin. Holds on tight. Crowd fans love it. But under a midway mark, he holds it never tightly.
What a save. You have to believe this. Shesterkin has made a dominating effort. What a coolness playing this.
Now the win here for the New York Rangers. A 0 now finding Cooley. Stick lifted again, and Mackenzie Uyghur bumped it out and rebounded by Trocheck. Here comes Trocheck. A shot, saved by Radelka. Cooley finding a Uyghur, and has it to Gonfer. Gonfer back in the New York territory. Chance in front. Bumps it out. And now here's Cooley with under 8:30 to go in the third period. Dumps it into the bench, and that will be out of play. Still nothing to see here, but as I'm looking for Apple, who do you think will had a better play this night?
Well, I'm going to say that Igor Shesterkin, he's really like showing it oftenly. And a lot of defensive players are just turning out to be like hard ones to take. A lot of big smackdown afterward, but this is what my favorite is. Igor Shesterkin. He makes a great save along his way. Let's hope that he stays in play.
Thank you there, Apple. Now have it again to Gonfer. Here's Cooley on the outside of it, now finds Sergachev. Uyghur shoots one, blocker saved again by Shesterkin. Cooley trying to battle it for it. Cooley's got it back, now finding Uyghur.
He's really starting to get that one energizing. They're really starting to make that one go up.
Krause, shot blocked, rebound by Krause. Sergachev finding Uyghur. Uyghur moving around from the back of the chain. In front, he missed one line. Cooley, outside Krause, shoots, stop made by Shesterkin. Aurora now finding the Zibanejad. He finds it over to Peralt. Under 6:30 to go. Here's a change-off. Peralt. Lafreniere shot, save again by Vidalka. Sergachev behind the back. As we're under 6 minutes remaining in his third. Raturka out to word. Send off for the shot. Missed on the opportunity play. Zibanejad goes for the knockdown. And here's Lafreniere. Lafreniere finding Peralt. And Marino will now have it for Utah. Parents go back to Krause with a big plugging on the rig. And a drive. Fire that one around the net. Here's one for Caitlin Keller. Now finding again Marino. Schmidt shoots, blocked the shot. 5 minutes remaining in the third period presented by Discover. JT Miller in front of the middle. Schmidt stick it away. Get back to Krause. Krause looks at Schmaltz. Schmaltz to pass, now find to Marino, now find to Schmidt. Schmidt shoots, number one save. Keller's up and blocked the shot. Schmidt's got it back. And back to Schmaltz. Looks to Keller. Keller. Chance to play. Marino. Glove save by Shesterkin. Shesterkin holding it on with only 4:06 remaining in the third period. Still a lot of effectiveness going on. 89 over 86. It's now ready for another puck drop. And it's center gliding. And a win for JT Miller. Here's another one for JT Miller. Again, a Sherry. Rangers back into Utah territory. Sherry, move around, shot, blocked up ahead. Marino get a piece of it, and now this one goes out of here. Carcone's watching on this one. Sherry's trying to shoot it, but that didn't make him happen. And he offered it on his own teammate, now fighting again to Sherry. Here's Marino, step on the back play, save by Shesterkin, and he holds it on a save here with only 3:09 remaining in the third.
He really cannot beat down. Way to defend yourself from Igor Shesterkin. Now it really has to be the high on play opportunity.
Sebastian wins the face-off. Here comes Peralt. Peralt on the fast-breaking chain. Outside Sebastian shot. Saved by Vidalka. Outside Fox. Fakes it. Sebastian stopped by Vidalka. 2:38 to go in the third period. And they're able to have it 1:30 out of the way and get ready for another puck drop. Now to win for New York. A shot redirected back over Rieger. Knocked him down. Keller. Back in Utah to the New York territory. A send-out cross in front of the Schmaltz, and that one is broken up. Riley shunts down the other way here for New York Rangers. Set pass. Broken up by Sergachev. Warrior resisting right out of the way. And Rieger got it back to Sergachev. And firing over to Krause. Krause. A send over. Schmaltz got it that time. Back outside Rieger. Here's Krause. Backhander shot. Save by Shesterkin. And back to Bogan.
There's a lot of heavy hits. They're going to be sure enough they're going to try to get to every shot on that goal.
Pulley shot. Glove save of Vidalka. Just nearly down to a final minute of the third period. Still a 0-0 game. Still no goals in the regulation. This could be the answer between New York or Utah. Goalie wins the draw. 1 minute remaining in the third. Send out pass to Compher. Compher to lead. Big stop by Shesterkin. Compher back to Marino. Chance of play. Marino lost that one. And now here's a chance over for New York Rangers. Marino clears that one out of here. Here's Schmidt. Dumps it out of his own. Paterka. Hard pass to Marino. Shot. Redirected off the legs. Bumper. It should have saved by Shesterkin. 25 seconds to go in the third period. Here's Peralt. Into our middle. Range in front. Save by Vidalka. Blocked again. 13 seconds remaining in the third period. Rangers still trying to look for the end of the game to have that goal, but it's still taken away. 50-47 over 3:21 was the time on the attack. The win for the New York Rangers. Save by Vidalka. Final seconds. Jersey, one last chance, and therefore we are going to overtime at Madison Square Garden. No score in regulation, and this will be the next one for the win. Every Angels trying to be a block shot for Utah, and great chance for New York Rangers by the goaltender, Shesterkin. We'll be back with you at the Madison Square Garden after this break.
Alright, here's how they did with no goals in the game between Utah and the New York Rangers. Let's have a look at the action trackers and see what they have. So as we noticed it before, the New York Rangers have a great chance on goals to stop on Vidalka, and the Utah Mammoths have a great shots on goal to stop on Igor Shesterkin, but there was still no score of the game. It was pretty tight, and nothing was able to compete right into the other side of it. So it seemed like that this was a hard play, and afterwards that there's no scores in the game of every regulation. Not the first, not the second, and not the third period. It was remained silent afterward. I mean, I gotta say that this wasn't enough to make anything that's more on a possible angle. As you can see now, there is a lot of great chance here. As I now send it over to Roy Cruz, who do you think the next prediction will win for the game? What's your take, and who do you think is going to win in overtime? I'm going to say that Dylan Gomper is going to have to try to give that one an overtime goal, and I don't believe anybody could definitely try to beat that better. Would have to go over it and under it. This line could be definitely like a hard change that anybody might be doing it for. And this could be the Utah Mammoths to win in OT over the New York Rangers with the shutout win in overtime. They could be long way down, but they were sure enough not even as possible to get it from here. This might be what they are going to expect. So let's see how they answer it. And how about you, Son of Beast, for your prediction winner? I bet this is going to be Mika's advantage. A close call is in a range that I'm going to say that Mika really enjoyed a lot of his responses. This ability may not be the easy way to choose for it, but what Mika's advantage gets, that's his deserve. He might show how he does. We'll see how we can definitely handle it if anything has changed. All right, then. We'll see how this one gets, and hopefully this overtime could be the next goal to win. And if it isn't, then we are going to be heading to a shootout the other side of it. Now let's turn my attention over to Craig along with the others with Fiery and, of course, Apple to see who will take the overtime win. This is all for nothing. Let's see what goes on. Overtime starts now. This OT is presented by your local Honda dealers. Let's roll. It's overtime, and we are set, ready for playing action. Overtime starts now, and let's see who gets the next goal in. Here's another one to start off for Keller, and he'll now find over to Sergachev as the Utah Mammoths win the faceoff. Sergachev starts first. Sergachev finding Keller. He finds Schmaltz. Schmaltz looks to Keller. Keller finding Sergachev. Looks to Keller. Finding Schmaltz. Backhander releases. The big save by Shesterkin. And finding Sergachev over to Schmaltz. Keller shoots one. Another save out by Shesterkin. Schmaltz swings it down. And now here comes the no contest zone. Here right through the middle. Trocheck with the move around. And stop made by Vidalka. What a chance and a first opportunity for the New York Rangers as Vidalka makes a stop. You got to stop in this effort. This was really hard to make that new line group change. Keller will swing it over to Sergachev as a new line group change for the Utah Mammoths. And now here comes Ice. New regroup here. And the send is now Gomper. Gomper slails it down here into the wing. Sergachev sets out. Coming on play action, Uyghur backhander, glove save by Shesterkin. 2:20 to go in overtime, still 0-0.
What they meant to say how that one really made a great save. That only makes one stop. You gotta love Vidalka. That is crazy save when you really are watching this Ion. You have no belief of how this protection will do for you.
And who do you think was going to have an overtime player tonight?
Well, this is my take here, fellas. I'm going to say that Mika Zibanejad is all I'm going to go for. Let's see how he can handle it.
As Fox will have that puck in, here comes Lafreniere. Lafreniere for the New York Ranger attack. A shot, never saved by Vidalka. Hayton around the back. Under 2 minutes remaining. And here's Uyghur. Set up pass to Gomper. Gomper. Check the Uyghur on a shot. Saved by Shesterkin. Uyghur. Pass to Gomper. Comfort. Move around the back. Stop him as a bad Jack. Rangers go back on the attack. Uyghur's got it back. Final minute in the third overtime. Uyghur moving in front. Save versus Sturkin. Keller finding Schmaltz. Schmaltz. Keller shot. Blocked the shot again. Zibanejad stops one. And now here's a tape feed by Lafreniere. Lafreniere. Right toward middle, and Keller takes it out. And here's Schmaltz. The giveaway. Kavikov trying to stop that one back. 30 seconds left for OT. And therefore, the power play is going to resume, and this one will be ready. Kavikov shot saved by Videlka. And this will stop in play as Clayton Keller in the penalty box.
Man, this is
Utah
where it
penalty
happens
number
to be
9,
in
2
there.
minutes for
So
tripping.
that makes him trip, and Clayton Keller in the box. I think this chance is going to be a Rangers power play goal. They're going to have to use some time, so after timeout, they got to start making it fast.
Chance it forward right now as for New York Rangers. And now they're ready. They got to watch the time with the 4-on-3 attack. They win it. Radish shoots one. Over in front. Stop with Elka. Back to Sergachev. Shrinking numbers for Sergachev. And that one will clear that one out of here. And as for Trojak, one last time. Miller, saved by Videlka. And therefore, we are going to a shootout at Madison Square Garden. This is a tight one. Anybody can play better, and the next one will find a goal to have it all. Next one is underway next after this. Shootout is underway after the break. As that 4 is already still on 0-0 lead in every regulation period. Still nothing to give around here. As for Utah Mammoths, has scored 57 shots on goal. Here's Charles trying to find an answer in there for New York Rangers as they had 38. And therefore, this might be the answer if they're looking for anything. What is your status out there, Fiery?
Well, I probably might say that the New York Rangers really are starting to make that one impressionable. I mean, no questions to consider how they were going to try to do this, but there's really a lot of uncertainty that they can definitely try to keep things from moving. I'm not sure if there's going to be answer with this, but that is a close call.
What is your feeling of this one? Who do you think who's going to have a shootout win for every of each team?
You got to say New York Rangers. They're still haven't won anything. Remember the last game against the Tampa Bay Lightning? They still have all the change. It never be done. It can be a long way down. We'll see how they will do.
And as along with the broadcasting of the partners, along with Son of Beast and, of course, Roy Cruz, we'll see what happens with the next player to go in the shootout. Let's see how this will handle. We're all set at Madison Square Garden. Goalies are ready. As we start the Utah Mammoths, and Schmaltz will be starting off from here for the first round here at the Madison Square Garden, and we are underway. First round begins now. Schmaltz slows, right range, and scores. That's the first goal for Nick Schmaltz as they're on the board.
What a start early in this range here. Nick Schmaltz had it right into the ricochet. He really showed it, and just right into it in the net, that just goes right in kabang.
Now start off with New York Rangers. First will start in from Taylor Radius. He's up. Save by Videlka. Stopped on a display, and now here comes the next one up. Logan Cooley. Now this will be the second round for the Utah Mammoths as they start now. Cooley slows things down, trying to get over it, but he does not have enough room. This one stopped by Sturkin. Now for the Rangers, Mika Zibanejad. On his way down. Moves around. He scores! Quick release, and now ties for one.
Well, there's no change off. You have a lot of despair moment here, and that is right on the line. You do not have a lot of mistaking. You just get right into it. Play it like you can.
Rangers are tied for one. Next on the list here, round number 3, is Clayton Keller. Keller's up. Keller. In motion. Change in front. Oh, he tried to throw it. Off the 9. That's what it is instead. Now this might be Lafreniere's up. For the win. Stop of it also. We're heading to round number 4 in the shootout. That has to be the one change off. And now that's going to be done by JJ Peterka. Let's see how they handle. Peterka starting in 4th round. Peterka up. Stop of it by Shesterkin. Now for Rangers this time. And here's Will Cooley. He starts. Stop of it, Round 4 goes with the pass. And now here's round number 5, as this will be Benton. He's up and ready. Let's see how he handles it.
He has to watch things up carefully. Don't make a move out of it.
And up. Stop by Shesterkin. Round 5 the other way. For the Rangers this time, it will be Peralta. Peralta. Stop by Videlka. He still have not passed it at a point, and now the next one up is Miguel Turgachev.
Watch out for danger, player. You don't want to make a mess afterward.
Turgachev. Roshan. Shot stopped again by Shesterkin. Now for a round of Fox. This will be the chance for a win. Fox in. Save by Videlka.
He's out of room, and he's still not making that one switch.
And a chance the other way for Utah Mammoths. And now here's Dylan Gompher. Everybody's waiting impatiently. Let's see how he handles it. Round of 7 in the shootout. Moves it. He scores. Dylan Gompher. Quick release.
Now have it back up. That's what you need to know for. Dylan Gompher shoots it deeply, and he just have it all. No better complaints if you really are watching on Dylan Gompher. That's the goal release.
A chance to tie. Vincent Trocheck. What will he have? For a tying effort. And it's knocked away by Videlka, and it's over. Utah Mammoths shut down these Rangers, and it's a shootout win. Alex Kerfoot and Dylan Gompher with the goal.
That's all that happens. No matter what you change for, Utah strikes him down.
It was no better than hockey afterward. After every goal's in regulation, then a shootout only happens with once, and that's for Dylan Gompher. He makes that one with the lead.
And that's happens already. Pretty been exhausted night for Rangers, but therefore, they'll be in an in-season tournament.
Well, along my broadcast partner, along with the other crew, I'm Craig, and along with Apple and Fiery, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. All right, thanks, Craig. As Will Cooley's the third star player of the game, Van Videlka was the 38 saves of the game on the second star player of the game. He had a lot of saves to change things off. And for the first star player of the game, only happens with one, is Igor Shesterkin. 57 saves. On a big effort, on a perfect regulation period, he made that great stop. But this for the shootout didn't stay well. And with the final push, here's how they did with the total statistics. 57 over 38 total shots on goal, 44 over 30 for the hits on New York Rangers. Then it was 17-11 over 349 for the Utah timeout attack. Then it was 88 over 86 for New York Rangers. And a passing effectiveness, 19 over 15 face-off wins for New York Rangers. And 2-minute penalty kill was on the Utah Mammoths and 22 seconds in OT for the 4-on-3 advantage. It didn't go staying up really well, but that's all it did. New York Rangers tried everything, but they failed to get a conversion. Well, that's it for now. And for this part of the game, that can definitely be painful for the New York Rangers to have it step out into the bottom of the list of the Eastern Conference standings to see how this one will change in. With only a couple more games to go, we have still got plenty of action here going on. As for the next part of the game, the Detroit Red Wings will see how they will play the advantage of, and they will be facing against the next team on the other side of it. They may not be anybody, but the plan of this effort, it goes against the one of our biggest tough in a stoppage, and that might be all of what you're looking for.
as for Columbus Blue Jackets is the next team to play for in Detroit. And with the next part of the game, after that, we've got a lot of big coming afterwards. There may not be anybody who can definitely play for real this time. But as for the next one, Winnipeg Jets will be facing against the other side of a team of the Calgary Flames. And that will be at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Be sure to keep your eyes on the next game here of the Game of the Night, NHL 26, on EA Sports. Well, along with my broadcast partner, along with Apple and Fiery and Craig, and along with my side broadcast partner with Roy Cruz, I'm Son of Beast, and you've been watching this part of the NHL 26 Game of the Night on EA Sports. We'll see you next time for as well as the NHL 26 Gameplay Dial. And I'll see you all for the next one. Thanks for watching, and good night, everyone.
If you don't, somebody will.